Even after Andy Cohen officially wrapped the Real Housewives of Orange County Season 19 reunion, something shifted in the room. The lights dimmed, the glam squads began packing up brushes and hairspray, and the cast exhaled in that tense, relieved way housewives always do once they survive another reunion. But just when everyone assumed the drama was over, producers signaled the cameras to keep rolling. Quiet footsteps, hushed whispers, and sudden movement behind the scenes confirmed it. This reunion wasn't finished. A storm was brewing, one that would send shockwaves through the cast and ignite one of the most chaotic post-reunion moments Real Housewives of Orange County has ever seen. Because moments after the final toast faded, Andy played unseen footage that brought to light explosive leak allegations claiming Tamra Judge had allegedly been feeding confidential Season 19 storylines to bloggers and fan accounts. The anonymous tipster had described situations only insiders could possibly know. And as the cast absorbed the footage for the very first time, the air thickened with suspicion, betrayal, and disbelief. Tamra felt blindsided. The accusations hit her like a slap across the face, and you could see the panic rising in her chest. She began frantically searching the sofa for her missing phone, breathing fast, mascara starting to run, her hands trembling. "I didn't do this," she kept saying, her voice cracking like someone trying to hold on to truth while drowning in lies. Andy approached gently, placing a hand on her shoulder to calm her down. "It's gonna be okay," he murmured softly. But Tamra immediately snapped back, "It's not okay, I didn't do this." Her voice was raw, as if every syllable carried a lifetime of frustration and fear. Her reputation, her job, her trust, all suddenly on the line in front of millions. As the rest of the women gathered to take staged photos in their sparkling reunion gowns, Gina Kirschenheiter and Heather Dubrow walked toward Tamra, sensing the devastation behind her rigid posture. But before they could speak, Tamra exploded again, her voice shaking with anger. "This is not okay. It's a fking lie. It's a setup, and it's not fking true. To say that I called bloggers when there's absolutely no fking information on it, it's bullst." Gina gently asked her where she thought all this was coming from. Tamra stared blankly, eyes glossy with tears, and whispered, "I don't know," but her tone suggested she felt something deeper, like she suspected someone but wasn't ready to say it aloud. Later, after everyone slipped out of their reunion glam and into comfortable clothes, Katie Ginella found Tamra sitting alone. Her face was blotchy, her energy drained, the adrenaline of the moment leaving her shaking. "I didn't do it," she whispered again, barely audible. "I value my job, and I've never done that." Her voice cracked as she questioned why her castmates suddenly claimed they couldn't trust her. "This is not what this show's about," she said, sounding helpless. She wasn't playing a part. This was someone terrified of being accused of something she swore she didn't do. Then came the moment that shifted everything. Tamra revealed she believed the leak accusations were part of a retaliation plot. She suspected Gretchen Rossi and Slade Smiley, a pair she's feuded with for years, could be behind the anonymous tip. The idea was wild, messy, and exactly the kind of twist that Real Housewives of Orange County history is made of. But Andy quickly reminded her that the anonymous caller had insider-level knowledge Gretchen and Slade never would have had access to. And not long after, Gretchen denied any involvement whatsoever. If it wasn't Gretchen, then who? Who knew enough details to impersonate a cast member? Who waited for the perfect moment to drop the bomb? And who wanted Tamra taken down badly enough to do it? Andy raised a deeper question. Where could Tamra go from here with Gina? Unlike her rocky dynamic with Jen or her strained history with Shannon, Tamra and Gina weren't just castmates, they were friends. But now that the tipster had claimed Tamra and Gina were plotting to expose Gretchen's alleged problematic social media behavior, Gina felt blindsided and embarrassed. She confronted Tamra, saying the whole situation made her feel set up, but Tamra swore on her children's lives that she had nothing to do with it. That kind of oath doesn't come lightly. It forced Gina to pause. Even if she didn't fully believe her, she couldn't ignore the sincerity behind such a promise. Emily Simpson remained firmly unconvinced. The anonymous caller's accuracy shook her deeply, and she needed more than tears to be swayed. Heather echoed the need for boundaries, emphasizing that confidential cast moments leaking outside the group could destroy any hope of trust. "We can't move forward like this," she warned. Gina added that too much information was leaking too quickly, and if Tamra or anyone was sharing secrets, it had to stop. Heather ended the night with a polished signature toast. In order to move forward, the path has to be clear. But the path was anything but clear. The cast left the reunion with unanswered questions, damaged friendships, and a growing fear that someone within the group might be playing both sides. Someone knew too much. Someone wanted chaos. And someone was waiting for the next opportunity to strike. The reunion might have wrapped hours earlier, but the night was far from over for the Real Housewives of Orange County cast. As everyone filed out of the studio, the energy in the air shifted from performative to personal. No glam teams, no lights, no microphones clipped to their dresses. Just raw tension following each woman like a shadow. The leak allegations hadn't just cracked open old wounds. They created a new fracture running right through the center of the cast. Everyone was suspicious of everyone. Everyone replayed the anonymous caller's voice in their heads, trying to find clues, patterns, or even a hint of recognition. A breath, a tone, a slip, anything that could confirm or eliminate a suspect. Tamra stayed behind longer than anyone else, pacing the empty hallway like she was trapped between anger and panic. Her eyes were swollen, heavy, exhausted from the emotional avalanche that hit her on camera. This wasn't just a storyline for her. This was her livelihood. She thought about her family, her kids, her history with the show. The idea that she would risk her job by leaking private details? To her, it felt absurd. But to some of her castmates, the puzzle pieces didn't fit so neatly. Too many coincidences. Too many things she just happened to know. Too many moments where she had information before others did. The line between intuition and insider intel had become blurry. Shannon, who avoided Tamra all night, watched from a distance as she left the set. Their friendship had been shattered for months, but something about seeing Tamra break down stirred a familiarity inside her. Old loyalty, maybe, or compassion buried under layers of conflict. But Shannon kept her distance. She wasn't ready to reopen a door she had slammed shut. Not for Tamra, not for anyone, not after what they'd been through. Gina and Heather, meanwhile, walked out together, whispering quietly as if the parking lot itself might be bugged. Gina couldn't shake the chill of hearing the caller speak about her alleged involvement in a plot she knew nothing about. She wasn't just suspicious of Tamra, she was suspicious of the whole ecosystem around them. "Someone's benefiting from this," she whispered to Heather. "Someone wanted this to explode." Heather nodded, her face tight, calculating. She'd been on enough seasons to know that Housewives drama doesn't just appear. It's created, planted, watered, nurtured, sometimes by enemies and sometimes by friends. Emily was the most straightforward about her suspicions. She didn't entirely believe Tamra's innocence, but she didn't fully believe in the anonymous caller either. Something about the call felt too theatrical, too dramatic, almost strategically timed. But with no proof either way, she leaned into her gut feeling. Someone was lying. Maybe multiple people. In a franchise built on alliances and manipulation, truth was a rare and unreliable currency. Back inside the studio, Tamra sat alone on a dark couch, replaying everything in her mind. The caller's words, the women's reactions, Gina's hurt expression, Heather's calm warning, Emily's skepticism, and Andy's face. The moment he heard the anonymous voice reveal information that only an insider could have known. Tamra thought about Gretchen and Slade again. Was it really impossible they had access to something? Was it really impossible they waited years for the perfect moment to strike back? But Andy was right. The details were too fresh, too specific, too current. Someone close to the cast had to be involved. And then a thought hit her so sharply she gasped. What if the leak wasn't a person at all? What if it was someone hiding behind a burner identity? Someone pretending to be anonymous? Someone using cast knowledge to stir chaos? Someone who wasn't calling from outside the group, but from right inside the Real Housewives of Orange County bubble? The idea twisted in her stomach, heavy and unsettling. If the betrayal came from within, then every relationship she relied on, every alliance she believed in, was a lie. By the time she walked out to her car, the weight of the night sank into her bones. The world saw her as dramatic, emotional, over the top, but this wasn't performance. This wasn't for the cameras. She felt cornered, hunted, framed. She felt like someone wanted her gone. Whether it was a bitter enemy or a secret traitor in her circle, she didn't know, but she felt the threat, and it wasn't going away. The next morning, social media exploded. Fan pages dissected every frame of the reunion footage. Bravo groups speculated nonstop. Hashtags trended. Old feuds resurfaced. And through the noise, one question echoed louder than all the rest. Who leaked the season 19 secrets? Gretchen posted a statement denying everything. Slade cracked jokes online. Shannon stayed silent. Emily responded to comments but never revealed her suspicions. Gina and Heather liked a handful of Tamra needs to be held accountable posts, a move fans immediately analyzed to death. And Tamra? She posted nothing. No stories, no promos, no cryptic quotes. She stayed completely silent, which only fueled more speculation. And that's when Bravo fans realized the truth. This wasn't over. Not even close. The reunion had ended, but the mystery had just begun. Someone in the Real Housewives of Orange County universe was playing the long game. Someone was pulling strings behind the scenes. Someone was watching the chaos unfold with satisfaction. And as season 20 loomed, one thing was clear. Every woman would enter next season not with alliances, but with suspicion. Trust was gone. Loyalty was fractured. And the leak had officially become one of the most gripping, twisted, reputation-shattering mysteries in Real Housewives history.